Racial profiling is happening in all these sectors.
A new Montreal survey by the Institute for Research and Education on Race Relations indicates that consumer racial profiling is emerging as a top concern for visible minorities. The preliminary findings show that about half the participants reported being profiled when accessing commercial establishments and services in the Greater Montreal area.
Since the focus is mostly on policing, the surprise is that, ding, 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 this comes out of the box now. Right, the numbers that it's commerce, me as an individual, I'm not surprised that it happens in commerce. How many times has it happened to me?
From the 160 people who took part in the online survey, about 76% reported having been victims of racial profiling in the Greater Montreal area. In the last 5 years, the sectors in which participants had experienced it the most were the commercial services sector, the education sector, followed by the employment, then policing sectors.
It's happening in the commercial sector, like we saw. That's the sector that really came out, and it was surprising to us. We might have expected to see policing higher up on that list.
The responses indicate that retail businesses routinely scrutinize, intercept, detain, and accuse of shoplifting mostly Black, Arab, and Indigenous individuals in banks, department stores, and other commercial services.
You're in the pharmacy or you're in a store, you're followed by a security guard or by an employee for seemingly no reason, right? Maybe it's because of the color of your skin or because of an accent you have or the way you're dressed in some way.
In Nova Scotia, Ontario, and BC, courts have started to find major businesses liable for consumer racial profiling. In Quebec, the problem has yet to receive major public attention. In a statement to City News, the provincial government says, let's be clear, racial profiling is not acceptable. Our role is to ensure that the Private Security Bureau applies the Private Security Act and its regulations. There are standards of behavior to be respected by private security guards. If an individual feels aggrieved by an officer, they can file a complaint with the Bureau. We also plan to raise the awareness of private security firms, adding that the Quebec government is continuing the work and wants to improve the measures to counter racial profiling, that it's a priority. Also reminding that it is the responsibility of each employer to sensitize its employees to the fight against racism.
Often young people are being stopped, they've been checked and then being let go, and they don't realize that they have been profiled.
CRAR is calling on retail businesses and the private security industry in Quebec to invest more in training and revising their practices to avoid exposing their clientele to racial discrimination. And the IRERR hoping to take a holistic approach, the project serving as a starting point for future research.
As the years go by, then it should hopefully decrease.
In Montreal, Pamela Pagano, City News.